All right, good afternoon. Happy, what day is it? Tuesday. As we hopefully most of us are inching closer to wrapping up a very complex year, but we are here. And thank you so much for joining us today, Corey and I, for this info session for Stars College. We really are excited about this space because it's just so much to be excited about Stars College. So we will share some brief overview of what Stars College is, as well as go into different aspects and tenets of Stars College, particularly for the experience of 2021. And then we want to make space for you all to ask any questions that you may have so we can assist to encourage completion of application, as well as provide more information about this experience. So let's get started. So this is just to give you a kind of brief look at one of our past experiences. This is University of Washington, class of 2016. This is one of the subgroup mentoring groups that we have there. Actually, one of the tall giants in our profession, John Merchant. He's pictured there with his small group. And this is one of the things that we're looking to continue despite a virtual environment, to look at that connection, right? And how do we build that community through a virtual environment that actually have like meaningful, lasting relationships and lasting impact, not only on us as people, but also us as professionals in this industry. So what we will cover today is the 5 W's, the who, what, when, where, why, and how of Stars College for 2021. We'll talk about experience perks, the students, the faculty, application process, the funding resources, mentor resources, and alumni testimonials, okay? Here's another picture, class of 2012 at Chapman University, as you see there, picture with the cougar. Again, these are experiences, and we're sharing these photos because these are experiences that folks are really getting connected and engaged through the Stars College experience, and it serves as a really firm foundation for how they launch themselves into student affairs, particularly if they've served in other various campus enrollment, campus activities and positions while they were in student leadership during your undergraduate career. So the 5 W's of Stars College. So it's basically experience for undergraduate students interested in learning about the student affairs and campus housing professions. There's an array of positions and different paths you can take in student affairs. And basically this experience is supposed to equip you with more information, particularly if you are a resident assistant or resident advisor, serving in any position in housing, even a desk assistant, or other positions, student leadership positions that, hey, what is this housing thing about? I had a student before that tell me you can actually have a professional job in this. Like, I just thought this was something people do when they retire. And I was like, absolutely not. There's a whole world to student affairs, and particularly the housing profession. And this institute gives you a upfront, close look into the different professions, the different capacities in which people hold over time, but also allows you to foster that curiosity, to foster that passion that you may have already built up for student affairs, and the things that you do on a daily basis, and connecting with students, influencing your peers, and how you can turn that into a career. So you have this space and experience with these professionals, as well as with other student participants, that allows you to kind of foster and grow that passion, foster and grow that knowledge about what exactly our positions in student affairs, exactly, particularly with the scope in housing and residence life. We want to remind you that this will be a virtual experience. Of course, we want your safety was our priority in sculpting the schedule and looking at the experience this year. We also understand, the various state-to-state travel restrictions, because this ACUHO-I basically the I is one of the most important letters, is international. We have folks all across the world who participated in this experience, and we want to make sure we were inclusive in our approach and not leaving anyone out if we decided to hold an in-person versus virtual experience. So we're looking at July 7th, 8th, 13th, and 15th. So we want to also, we make sure we space things out. We had proper time for activities and learning, engagement, also to build that community and rapport with one another while you're in the Stars College experience, as well as be able to have reflection time and space between whatever you may have already scheduled. So it's not entirely time consuming when it comes to the actual scheduled commitments. There is a $50 registration fee, but we want to talk, there's some good news that we have that we hopefully can help offset those costs, if not helped to give you information that may completely cover those costs as you apply, as you look to cover those expenses. One of the most important things we want you all to remember today is May 5th, May 5th, May 5th. They say if you say things 3 times, you're that much more prone to remember it. So May 5th, 2021 at 11:59 is the priority deadline. So we want to make sure you get your application in. And we also going, for those of you on the call, we want you to apply. And then we also want you to encourage somebody else to apply. So, we're going to take some BOGO applications out there. So bring somebody with you, encourage a student leader with you, encourage that resident that you see potential in all throughout the year, that they may not quite see that potential in themselves, but this is truly a phenomenal experience. We wanted to get people to connect it. And then one of the heart and soul aspects of this Stars College is the faculty. So the faculty, I have the blessed opportunity this year to serve as one of the faculty members, to serve as a faculty mentor to selected student participants. And the faculty have a wide range of disciplines, a wide range of experiences, and a lot of years that they've put into the profession and poured into how they've gotten to the point they are today. And this is a part of giving back, right? Giving back to our profession, because Stars College is positioned as one of the hubs that produces the future of our profession, particularly in housing and residence life. And we want to be intentional. So they want to make sure the faculty are having a hands-on involvement and leaving a lasting experience with our student participants. Here's another picture. University of Washington, they were very popular. They took a lot of pictures. So they had a great time. As you can see, just look at the joy in folks' faces. This is one of my favorite pictures when I was digging through archives. This is one of the faculty members at one of the closing events in which they were lifting the faculty mentor from the ground for a nice candid shot. But this is just culminates what type of experience, and people leave, not just with a infused and fueled passion more for student affairs, but they really build community. And if anyone knows, that's one of the foundational needs that a lot of us have, and that a lot of us really get into this business for, is because of the community that is present among us as students, but also among us as professionals. And it really builds lifetime relationships. And then the Stars College Perks. What's a package without perks, right? So Stars College Perks, and again, it's a 4-day virtual experience. So we've had our team, Corey has led our teams for a really strategic and engaging. So we promise you an engaging experience, and not just your typical Zoom conference. So we want to make sure we engage you virtually and make sure we set up the foundation for you to continue to build on your curiosity and your interest in student affairs and housing and residence life. And then you have interactive learning groups and small groups. So that's some of the things you saw, John Merchant, in the first picture that we showed you, that you'll have an opportunity to be able to speak with your peers, share your passion, share your concerns, right? And then also be able to help each other strategize, help each other with different aspects that, if you are to pursue a career in student affairs or in higher education, what does that look like? And you don't have to do it alone. You will have this really strategically catered community that will help you and that will be a support system. And that we have a number of alumni that, they talk about, what you'll see later, they talk about how they went to Stars College 5 and 6 years ago, and they're still keeping in contact, and they still have these close bonds. There was a comment, even someone, an alum made about that one of their best friends they met is in Canada. And it wasn't, if it wasn't for Stars College, they don't know if they would have met. So these are the things you have that access to. And these are the things we want you to walk away with, those tangible experiences, saying, hey, student affairs and higher ed, housing and res life is not only just a place for me, but you have this initial experience that lets you inside a deeper look into the world and profession of housing and res life, to say, you know what, I do see a place for me. I do see how I can be effective. I can figure out which graduate program I need to go to. How do I secure an assistantship? You have questions, we have the answers. So we want you to apply. Again, make sure you get a buddy to apply with you, apply at the same time, kind of hold each other accountable. Also, there's peer and professional networking. We know today, particularly in today's society, again, community is more important than ever. For us to lean on each other, to lean into each other's narratives and truths, to be able to talk out different things, to problem shoot, to figure out like, hey, I have this idea, I'm not sure how I should, whether I want to write an article or those things. These people that I've connected to in this profession, I call on a daily basis because they help me to be a better professional. So it doesn't just stop at the conference, right? It doesn't just stop at Stars College. It's not just a 4-day experience. It's the start to an experience and expansion into your student affairs career. And then again, those veteran faculty that we have. We have some phenomenal folks. I don't want to toot the horn too much, but we have some phenomenal folks lined up at the faculty position that are really excited about how do we get you all engaged about meeting, providing that mentorship, providing connections, passing down some of our wisdom on some things, some do's and don'ts that we've learned over our career at the time. And we really want, everybody has a common goal. We want folks to be successful, right? We want you to be here. We all are invested to fuel into that passion. And we want to build on that curiosity that you have about what is the student affairs all about, right? We're here, I've been in the field for about 14 years. I know I don't look it, but it definitely is one of the best decisions I've made. And honestly, it's because of mentors. It's because of tall professionals in our tall professionals in the profession that really took time to invest in me, that I didn't see a career for myself in student affairs. I didn't know what it was about. But somebody saw and said, you know what, I think you would do all right here. So 14 years later, I think I'm doing okay. Corey, do you have anything to share about the faculty or the Institute overall?
Yeah, I would just add that, one of the things that is, I think, particularly beneficial for folks that participate is not only do you have access to the faculty during Stars College itself, but you continue to have them in your network moving forward. And so when it is time to, start thinking about graduate school applications or applying for a job, you have someone that knows you and, is already invested in your success. And so our folks that are willing to give you the pep talk when you need the pep talk might be willing to give you that critical feedback that the other people that you've been asking to look at your materials, your essays, they like you too much. They're afraid to tell you that you missed this whole part of the essay, but these folks want you to get to where you're trying to go. So they're going to tell you those things in a kind and loving way because they want to make sure that you have the opportunities that you're looking for. Going into any career, there are going to be some highs and some lows. There are moments of disappointment. And so having, again, someone who's kind of a little bit more outside of your usual circle of support to help you make sense of whatever that experience is. I didn't realize this was going to be part of this business or that this was going to be part of my experience. And being able to potentially hear from someone else who's either had to navigate that or how they've helped their supervisees, their peers navigate some of those things too. I will tell you that the faculty in place for this year's Stars College, we range east to west coast as far as our US representation. And we have one faculty member who's helping represent Canada in our mix. And so we really do have a pretty good variety. 2 of our faculty members have moved outside of working directly in a position for a college or university and both work for entities that support the work of housing and residence life, one with RoomPact, one with eRes Life. So they're still very engaged in the housing world, but they've taken some of their skills and even specialized what they do and how they offer to support that outside of it being a part of a particular college or university. So there are a lot of experiences there that are great to learn from. The one other thing that I would add, and seeing these photos that DeMarcus has been sharing with you has brought me back, because I was a faculty member first at that 2016 University of Washington experience. And the opportunity to get to know people that are going to be probably in a similar timeline of you within your career is also really valuable. So I have been at conferences, or it's been maybe in a job search process where I have had a chance to connect with STARS participants, and they've had a chance to reconnect with one another, even though they lost touch because life is busy and graduation comes and other things. Finding each other in those moments, when just having someone that can very much relate to what you're going through, like having them in that moment, has also been really helpful. I have known STARS College participants that found themselves in the same graduate program. They had no idea the other person was going to be there, and then they get to graduate school and here's this person in their class. And so having, again, a chance to connect with somebody again and use even those peer level connections to support each other going through the process of getting into this field.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been at conferences, and as I wasn't a student participant, having the chance to be at the faculty role, I've been at conferences within the past 2 years, even before I came into this role. You just say STARS College and you see folks light up. And then, I think one time I went to a national conference for ACUHO-I, and I think it was in Rhode Island. And I saw this kind of big circle of folks traveling together. I'm like, what is that? So a mentor pulled me to the side and was like, it's STARS College. And then he said something, and somebody nearby said, somebody said STARS College, and I was like, what is this buzzword? What is happening? So it's definitely a special community to be a part of, and very intentional in all aspects that how it exists and how it operates. But like Corey shared, like it's not just go to a conference and be done. It is really much a foundation of community, a foundation of learning. Again, looking into the actual experiences of professionals, further engaging your curiosity around the profession, and then building upon that to build a career. I wasn't an RA, so that I think that was part of it, why I didn't feel I didn't see a place for me, but someone saw a place for me that had been in the field for a while. And I actually came out with a graduate assistantship, which they had paid for my entire college, graduate school, which I had no clue how I was going to afford before that conversation happened. So it really has played out for me quite nicely, having to stay and study this path in this field. So again, class of 2015, Rollins College, you will see that STARS College, again, kind of, within itself is known for the star. So they're assembling a star around their faculty member here at Rollins College. And then we want to talk about the application process. I promise you it's 1, 2, 3, easy as 1, 2, 3. We will share the website, and if you need a direct share of the website, we can drop your email address in the chat function. We'll make sure we get that to you. But what you will have in step 1 is completing essay questions, and there are about 4 questions that you have to complete. And honestly, the essay questions, we want to get to know you, and not just get to know who you are as a interested future professional in student affairs and higher ed, but we want to get to know your learning style, how this experience would benefit you, because it really becomes a very catered and an intentional experience about how the curriculum, how the learning, how the engagement opportunities are formulated to make sure it best optimizes what you're looking for, right? And of course, we want to make sure we do that for all of our participants. So after you complete in step 1, those 4 questions, and you will complete it on the ACUHO-I website via the link. Then the second part is actually for your mentor. So you will establish one of the parts of the application is to identify and basically solicit the support of a mentor on campus. This person does not need to necessarily be in student affairs, but particularly it's easier. In the past, folks have commented that it's easier and more convenient when it's somebody that is on their campus because they actually have that proximity and they already may have a relationship with this person. So, and we just don't leave your mentor out there. Shortly in this presentation, I will share that we also have mentor resources on the website that kind of lines out, here's what this mentor relationship means. Here's some suggestions and recommendations for fueling and pouring into this mentorship going forward. But you must have that mentorship application. They must complete that as well. That is also due by May 5th to 21st. And one of the purposes that we identify this, we don't want that mentorship piece to stop when you leave Rely, right? So yes, you will have connections and continual bridges and streams to access your faculty mentor that you are assigned to, but we also know that there's strength in village, right? So if you have that mentor identified that you've already built rapport with, or somebody that you want to build rapport with, this is a good way to build that rapport with them. If you have that professional, particularly that hall director or that director of housing that you're looking up to and aspire to be like someday, and aspire to have their position, this is a great way to start building those blocks of asking critical questions. How did you get where you're going? And to build that relationship that, as Corey shared, can be very beneficial while not only just preparing for graduate school or preparing when you interview for professional positions, but just in getting wisdom for your life trajectory. Mentorship, I would not be where I am without mentorship from folks pulling me left and pulling me right, saying, you shouldn't go that way, or hey, you're doing really good, that you should go this way. And that it's been really, really detrimental to who I am, and also it informs how I pour into others and have served as mentors to others. So, but make sure, so that is step 2. So actually step 2 actually belongs to your mentor. And then step 3 is actually submit the application. That's it. We tried to remove all the barriers. We didn't make it long and drawn out. We wanted to make it a really informed process, informed application. And really the heart of the application is about you, but those other steps are to make sure you complete those in a timely fashion. There is a $50 registration fee, which includes access to live and recorded sessions, materials, and access to a learning community and faculty mentor. We'll talk about those funding resources if you're not looking for that to be an out-of-pocket expense, that we all have done our research and being able to put those resources together to share with you. So that's it. 1, 2, 3. I need everybody on. See, we have about 5 or 6 folks here. Okay, if you all get a buddy and then they get a buddy, so that's 12. So, okay, so we're good here, right? So I'm counting on you all. We are counting on you all to get a friend and encourage each other to complete the application. Again, another picture, class of 2016 at the University of Washington. There's a group photo. You see all those smiling faces. It's because they engage a really great Stars College experience. And I can only imagine how many folks still keep in touch. And as Corey said, have probably been in the same graduate program or may even work together at the same institution now, professional career. At my last institution, when I was doing some volunteer work for Stars College, I just put out a call in my department for housing and said, hey, I'm looking for some Stars College folks. If you graduated from Stars College, then let me know. And like 4 or 5 people emailed me. I'm like, whoa, like I didn't think it was this much. I was looking for 1 or 2, but and then they start forming they didn't know about each other because they were in different classes, but they started forming a little group for them to go to lunch together and have some Stars College connections post their Stars College experience. So it's really, again, an extended experience that builds lifetime-long connections. Okay, funding resources. So here's where some opportunities that you can be able to solicit support and funding assistance. First, we encourage you to check your on-campus resources. That could also include your department that you may work for, particularly if you're RA, or if you're working with your mentor. Many mentors have offered to provide some financial support as funding for their Stars College participant. We also ask, there may be other campuses. I know at previous institutions, student requests have been reviewed and approved by positions at the vice provost or vice president or student affairs level. There is help, right? So ask those questions to figure out who can provide that financial assistance for you. And then there are regional associations that can provide support. I will say specifically for the Southeastern Association of Housing Offers, CHO, got my little lapel pin on right here, that we are specifically waiting until students reach out that are at institutions in the Southeast region to be able to apply for funding and secure support to attend this great opportunity and this great experience. Again, if you need additional information on that, we can provide that of like who's your home regional institution, so you can find out more information at and solicit support. And then the career affiliate institutions, they also provide some scholarships. We can provide more information on that so you can understand who are those affiliations and what those identifications are, to be able to solicit accordingly. Again, I really do want to stress a number of departments have offered in the past to really support students, particularly at this fee. Corey did a lot of work to advocate for this particular fee, because this is not the normal fee of the cost. So to be able to facilitate the experience that will have a lifetime impact. Then another picture, class of 2017, Salve Regina University at Newport, Rhode Island. Rhode Island is really beautiful. I'm always glad to get out there, but this is one of the class, again, you see the smiling faces here. You see the representation from the different universities and the different schools, which is, and I see some faces in here that are very aspiring professors today, some that I've tried to recruit to the institutions I've been at. I see Lena right there in the front from the University of Florida. So, but this is what this could look like for you. And we know even in a virtual environment, we are very confident about the community that will be built. We are very confident in that the engagement will have a lifetime impact on who you are, and give you that foundation, give you that foresight about what a career in student affairs look like, and then most important, give you a networking family that wants you to succeed, that believes in you before we even know who you are. We are so excited. Like, we're sitting on the edge of our seats in committee meetings. Like, we just can't wait to figure out who these folks are so we can get to work, so we can start connecting with them. We can start investing and pouring into them to make this a very meaningful experience. And again, I said there on the ACUHO-I website, if you look that up, there are mentor resources that talk about for mentors, how to provide challenge and support. There are also just level focal areas about meeting times, about different recommendations that the Stars College committees have put forth together in order that can help build a very meaningful relationship, something that is mutually beneficial for the mentor and the mentee. Then a few alumni quotes. The friends I connected with at Stars are now my forever friends. I like that hashtag forever friends. I have a few of those in this field, and I'm very thankful for them. There are also the lessons and connections gained while at Stars may be incredibly competitive for higher education programs and may be an even better RA. So the information learned in this experience is not for futurist use. Folks have been able to take these lessons, to take this mentorship and networking, the skills and the knowledge back to their home campuses to be even more effective in their student media positions, whether it's an RA or other positions that are on the campus. Another one shared that I would highly recommend that anyone considering a career in residence life and or student affairs apply for Stars College. And I know that the friends I made and the things that I learned at Stars College will be helpful to me as I begin my professional career and seek to make change in our country's colleges and universities. So groundbreaking. So this is again, it's not a siloed experience. These lessons, these engagement, all these things come together and continue to help not only project you in the career in our profession, but it also helps equip you with the knowledge, the learning, the network to be able to feel successful, to feel like you belong because you do in this profession, that you all can make a difference. And everybody has a role to play. I left the conference as a brilliant star. This is one of my favorite. Excited to journey into the world of higher education and housing. 10 out of 10, they highly recommend. Okay. These are not things we are making up, folks. We are pulling direct quotes and reflection from folks that have engaged in this experience and really are excited about what the transforming experience that they underwent while they were in the Scottish College experience. So what are you waiting for? Right? Go ahead and fill out the application. I will set a mark. If it was me, I would set a mark to try to get it done before the end of April, which is Friday, which is quick. But we want you to prioritize what you need to prioritize, but we want you a part of this particular experience. We want you a part of this community to further invest in you. This is solely student-centered. This experience is to benefit the students, again, from their personal and their professional selves, to be able to build their career and build on their curiosity and their passion for student affairs. And just a reminder, here are some key dates: May 5th, 2021 to 11:50. That's Eastern Standard Time. That is the priority application deadline. June 1st, deadline to register, deadline for students to register for Stars College. So the link will be emailed out once you are to notify you if you are selected for Stars College experience. And that will be before the June 1st deadline. And then again, just the dates are July 7th, 8th, 13th, and 15th. And the beauty is virtual. So you get to enjoy this experience. You get to engage this phenomenal space from the comfort of your home, from wherever your home institution may be. You get your destination location is solely up to you. But we want you a part. We want you to bring somebody else a part. We want them to bring somebody else to be a part of this wonderful experience. So right now, Corey and I will entertain any questions that you all that maybe had. You can either unmute yourselves or drop them in the chat. Reagan.
Yes. First of all, I've already submitted my application. I'm very excited. I have a really close relationship with my faculty mentor, and I was just wondering, I know we mentioned mentor resources. Are those available also and accessible to the faculty mentors that we list, or the ones we are assigned throughout the college?
So we have provided some mentor resources. I will put the link where we've tried to put those things accessible within the Stars College page in ACUHO-I for them to be able to reference. And then depending on how things have gone, sometimes we're able to do some follow-up outreach to mentors specifically to give them some additional resources as it becomes a need, or we see that it would link better with the program.
Yep. Your director down there, Reagan, is phenomenal. Love April.
Yes, I absolutely love Dr. Konvalinka. I work very closely with Kayla Kowalski.
Oh, yes. Kayla is, yes. Yes, I've worked with Kayla on a few host conference committees a couple of times. We actually serve on a conference executive board now together. So we are good friends. And I think Dr. Kalinka was on that as well. So it's just wonderful folks down there. You all have a massive campus, but it's definitely a great place to be, especially with folks that like that down there.
Yes, you mentioned ACUHO and my ears perked up because, like I said, Kayla's very close with RHA and NRHH chapters, the student leadership, and that's how we first like started our connection.
Awesome.
So she was messaging me. She's like, "Are you applying?" You already know.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad they had an impact. Those are two phenomenal folks. So you make sure you tell them I said hello.
You know, for anyone who's on this webinar that may not have the luxury of having a really close connection and it feels a little awkward to ask someone if they would be your campus mentor, it's not meant to be a high pressure situation. Yeah. So just think about someone that you feel comfortable talking with. So it might be someone that's a supervisor or an advisor that has that link to housing and student affairs. And if they're feeling nervous about like what's involved in that, can I really fulfill the responsibilities? The link that I just put in the chat can help kind of go through what's expected of being a campus mentor. It's really about supporting you, ultimately. It's not, you know, they must do X. I'm not coming to come check up on them every 2 weeks to see if they did their things. Right. It's really about supporting you. And so finding that person that you think you can connect and learn from is really the key thing in terms of making some of those outreaches, which can sometimes feel a little nerve-wracking or make you nervous to think about it. So anyhow, I would just offer that advice.
Hi, I also had a quick question.
Sure.
So I was kind of wondering if you had any idea of like what time we would be doing the college, just because like I working like a 9 to 5 over the summer, so I just want to like give my boss some like a fair amount of notice if possible.
Yes, I can answer that question. So our time together on the 7th will be early evening. So that is more of our kickoff time. And then the times on the 8th, the 13th, and the 15th would be what I would consider afternoon in Eastern Standard Time. So it depends where you're at a little bit in terms of how to answer that question, but it won't be full 8-hour days of trying to be on Zoom. This each day right now, we're trying to get it right down to the minutes, but it's about 3.5 hours of each of those last 3 days. And we've put it in the afternoon, hoping our best with time zone math that it doesn't mean anyone is necessarily having to get onto Zoom at like 2 in the morning or something else. We can't totally avoid that for some potential international participants, but we're trying to think about, you know, making it reasonable for as many people as we can.
Definitely. Thank you. I mean, I'm from Boston, and I'm in Boston right now. So
awesome.
That'll be Eastern Standard Time. So
great.
Good question.
Thank you.
Even a couple of our faculty members, I mean, we span about 6 time zones. Yeah. So even trying to get that group where we're not asking anybody to stay up super late or get up super early to participate, we've been trying to make sure we're thoughtful about all those things.
I think that, so I go to Boston University, and I think one of our faculty members is like helping or doing something. I don't know exactly what her role is, but yeah, that's how I like kind of found out about this.
Awesome.
That's great. I'm guessing that's Hillary.
Yeah, Hillary Karen.
Yes, so she's going to be one of our distinguished faculty members for Stars College this year.
Awesome.
That's great. And we want to let you all know, this last slide, if you think of a question or if you talk to someone that has a question after this, feel free to reach out to us. It's really, we really have that open access to help folks answer this question. At some point, we will have this, this webinar recorded and posted on the association's website, as well as their YouTube channel to be able to share accordingly. So just in case somebody missed something or need this video and information sessions to reiterate some points or some dates, that kind of thing. Again, we really are excited to have folks considering if we want folks to apply. So anything that we can do, whether it's providing a word, I even put myself out there, like, I'll help you find a mentor. Like, I will help you find someone. I know enough people and I know people that owe me favors, that if I need to call it a favor, we will make that happen. So, but it's truly, none of us would be connected to this if we didn't believe in the association. We didn't believe in Stars College. And then we didn't believe in what the Stars College experience does for our students. We really, at the time that I went to the association conference in Rhode Island, and I told you I saw that group traveling together. I left feeling, yeah, I need to be a part of that. I need to figure out how do I become part of that. But it was also, this is the future. Like, these are the future professionals that I need to figure out, how do we get connected? How do we support? How do I make sure that I secure job security just in case I need to work for one of them one day? But how do we invest in our future? And Stars College is one of the most intentional ways that we do that. And I truly believe that, and I'm not just saying that as a faculty member, but I truly believe in what Stars College has to offer. What it has offered, it's produced a lot of great and field-changing giants in our profession, and not just in the profession, but on their home campuses and what they're able to do, and what in the lives they are, in the professional lives they are able to lead. So we're not going to hold you all statement time. I'm sure everybody has other appointments and spaces that are calling for your presence. So, but again, you have our contact right there. Feel free to reach out to either one of us. Corey knows a lot more than I do, but if you contact me and I can't answer, I will get you to Corey. But we're more excited. We thank you all for it. Those who have applied already. Thank you for those who are considering apply. Like I say, encourage someone else, particularly someone that may not feel like, I don't know, and then let's encourage them, and we'll take care of the rest. And we promise you that. So you all have a great day, and thank you for your presence and your contributions today. I appreciate you all so much. Thank you, Aaron.